Hello, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to a new episode of The Road to Glory here on FIFA 19 Ultimate Team. Today's episode is powered by my sponsor Elgato Gaming and the HD60S capture card, the green screen and the key lights that I'm using to make this video. If you guys are looking to up your content game, of course, you can always use my link down below in the description. Go ahead, I literally use these products every single day and couldn't recommend them highly enough. So, getting on into The Road to Glory today, this is the squad that we'll be taking into the weekend league, and yeah, I know we're a little bit behind. We're only starting our weekend league today, so like I normally do with every weekend league, I wanted to show you like more slightly in-depth highlights of my first 3 games. Then I'll play a whole bulk of them for the next couple of episodes and we'll get it done, hopefully get to gold 3 nice and simple. So I went into my first match and I was quietly confident when I saw this team. Yeah, the fact that he's got a red Rashford means that he could be good. He could be very lucky. It's probably a better red than I've had all year. However, I haven't really shown you actually, but my squad improved, didn't it? When the Serie A updates came out, or the upgrades came out for Serie A, my Cancelo went from an 86 to an 88, and my Chesney went from an 87 red to an 89 red. So now, in theory, the best red we've packed this year is an 89, which is very, very good, of course. So yeah, I mean, it could be better, it could be worse, but a lot of the time, you know, you guys know that I play the necessary amount of weekend league, the minimum necessary amount, I think, which is gold 3. But I also think that's really like the actual necessary amount. Pushing yourself further and going to like the higher golds or even into the elites and stuff, I think is genuinely not worth it. Just when you see people's red rewards and stuff, and I think that's probably what people go for, is they try and get more red rewards. They've been so kind of behind the curve, based, or you know, compared to other promo players that come out, that I don't necessarily see the value in it. And I think you get a very good value per amount of games played by going to gold 3, you know, because yeah, sometimes you might hit lucky and get a decent red. Sometimes you might get very lucky and hit a red that even goes into your team, let alone just making the subs bench or something. But I would say like 80 to 90% of the time you get a couple of players which down the line you'll throw into an SBC. They won't count as an inform, and generally they'll just save you a few thousand coins and you're not super bothered about them. So it's more about the coins and stuff. Now, I guess you obviously get more coins as you progress further. I'm not sure the jump is high enough. I don't know. I can't actually remember what the coins are. If you have to stress yourself out to get 6 more wins to get up to gold 1, when like form comes into play and you start playing a lot better squads and stuff, and maybe it takes you an extra 13 games to get those 6 wins or something, is it worth it to you guys, maybe from experience, those of you that do push towards like the higher golds and stuff, is it worth it to get the, what is it, 2 100k packs? And is it 50,000 coins? If so, all that extra effort for an extra 20,000 coins in your budget, and then just a couple of different packs, you know, I'd be curious to know if you think that's worth it or not to you. But yeah, I guess it would boost your rivals rank slightly more as well, make that side of things a little bit more easy for you, simply because you get the 400 guaranteed points every time. So that could be a factor as well as to why people might play a little bit longer. But I think me and a whole bunch of other influencers, you know, YouTubers, whatever, streamers and stuff, typically play towards gold 3, and that's basically where we lie. So I think we might be into our second game of the weekend league. The first one was a bit of a weird one. I started so sloppy. You could tell I hadn't played a huge amount of FIFA lately, and then got into the game and eventually got like an easy rage quit because of Ronaldo factor. And then this one I go 2-0 up and I was like, yes, we're going to start strong in the weekend league this week. But he comes back and gets a goal against me, which I didn't really expect. You know, I was struggling to get the ball off of him in a couple of his attacks. However, I was holding the ball better in general in this game. I pushed forward in the 30th minute and I'm able to get another goal with Ronaldo in off the post that time. I find that the regular shots when they're from that distance go in quite a lot of the time without being timed. And without hitting them low driven. I find that they go in quite well, especially with someone like Ronaldo whose shooting is literally insane. But, you know, from kickoff, we got a little bit unfortunate. And that's a fantastic ball in, to be fair, to Joelinton, who I do own. We do have a Joelinton. I don't think he really makes the cut in our squad. And I don't think he really makes the cut in this guy's squad either, because I believe he comes off at half-time. But, you know, he got himself into the right position there and scored to make this game not super comfortable. Yeah, before half-time, we were able to make it 4-2. We got a corner header from Ronaldo, and of course, it's pretty much like having a penalty. And knowing that the goalkeeper's going to dive one way, so you could just slot it home the other way. You know, that's how often they go in from corners with Ronaldo. So 4-2 at half-time. It looks as though I'm fully dominating this game. But for some reason, whenever the guy got the ball, he held on to it quite well and made something happen. So he was a pretty clinical finisher of a player. We whip it into the box here, and we're able to get the header from Ibra to go into the back of the net, make that one 5-2. And that's the moment where I really felt like, okay, I've won this game. Because when you're 2 goals ahead with a long time left to go in a match, I just genuinely don't feel confident on FIFA 19. Anything can happen. Someone can change their game plan up to their ultra attacking, get 2 goals super, super quick, and you're in trouble. So then when he scored here, I was like, oh God, maybe we're not safe. You know, there's still a good amount of time left. You can score 2 or 3 goals in that time. But Ronaldo pushes through, strikes another one of those powerful ones into the roof of the net. We restore the 3-goal lead. And in the 75th minute, I'm like, all right, worst case scenario, if he scores 1 goal, I try and hold the ball a bit better. If he scores 2 goals, I do not let go of that ball again. So, yeah, that's just how you got to play it when it comes to being in the lead and then them, you know, reducing the lead on you. So 2-0. Perfect start. You know, what are we now? 16-0 in the weekend league after last week's as well. So that's good. Move on into the next one. And this one worried me somewhat because those are 3 pretty good reds. Ousmane Dembele, yeah, a lot of people have got him. But the 88 and the 89, like those are 2 solid red picks. It made me feel like maybe this guy gets strong gold finishes or maybe even elite. The rest of his team was pretty good, but not super, super meta. Like, you know, people like Quadrado and stuff on this game, I wouldn't necessarily pick up at this stage because I just feel like their finishing stat and stuff really let them down. And great movement there from CR7. I know he misses the first shot, but that's just the shooting mechanics on this game at the moment. And the fact that I actually hit finesse and I shouldn't have. But we get a second opportunity to stick that one into the back of the net. And we do so nicely. Now, again, counter-attack after my opponent was in my box. Zola finds and plays a perfect ball through to CR7. Easy slotted that one past the goalkeeper. That was a finesse, but I didn't know if a low-driven shot would quite go in at that exact angle, so that's why I just decided to sort of pass it around him almost. And as long as that one didn't hit the post or go wide, we were going to be all good. So what a ball through from Zola that was, who's been impressing me a lot lately, to the point where like I get the idea that, oh, I don't know, do I do the Nedved SBC? Do I keep Zola? I've had a few tweets, and obviously there's been a few comments and stuff about like Zola's actually not bad, his stats are good, you know, don't be disappointed with Zola. And then obviously other people are like, oh, that's kind of trash, unlucky, you know. Yes, throw him into a better SBC. People can't recommend Nedved enough. Lots of people love Nedved. So I'm a little bit torn. I guess it will come down to how much money I have at the time and whether or not I can afford Nedved before he expires, or whether or not any of these prime moments SBCs come out and if they're affordable or not, or if I can make it work with a normal icon and not like a prime icon needs to be submitted. Or we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out and see how it happens and when it happens. But for now, people were wondering why Nedved. He obviously doesn't fit my squad currently, but the way I put it to someone who watches the videos a lot, who tweeted me about this, was there's a better version of Cancelo, right? The 89, who's actually a right mid. And I could play him at right forward or right wing and get a link to Cristiano Ronaldo and then build the team around that. And then in my game plan, have Cancelo go to a fullback or play as a CDM or something. So that would get my 2 wingers in. It would mean I'd have Nedved and I'd have Cancelo as wingers in a starting lineup. And it would mean bringing things like Aurier back into the squad. You know, Marcos Alonso could come back into the squad. I think it could work out quite well for us. So we shall see how things pan out, I guess. It's just as simple as that. You know, I need to know what sort of coinage I'm going to be on, what's actually actively out as a promo in SBCs at the time, because the 81 to 86 SBCs helped a fair bit. They really did. You know, they helped boost the amount of high rated players I have that are usable for challenges that actually saved me quite a lot of coins if I would have bought them outright, based on how much the SBCs actually cost to begin with. So that was great and all that. But you don't get guaranteed. Like, if you go and buy players, if you buy an 85 rated squad, it will cost you 150k or whatever. And you can go down one league. You can buy the Prem version or the Bundesliga version or whatever version is the cheapest at that point in time. You do a whole bunch of random SBCs. You come out with an 86 rated player from the Prem, 85 rated player from La Liga, 87 rated player from Bundesliga, and you can't quite make it work with chemistry. But in different SBCs across the way, you can kind of make it work if you've got the odd 87 to throw in there and stuff. So yeah, like, I don't know. There's pros and cons to doing those SBCs and stuff. But we obviously get a win in our third game and actually go 3-0 to start things off, which is good for motivation and good for our record, of course. I put Falcao here because I think I might just nudge him onto the old subs bench, you know. Apparently he's quite good. So he might be an alternative to bring on to have like a bit of aerial threat. Plus he's quite agile and stuff. He might hold the ball really well for us out wide, and then actually be able to come in, swoop in and get some of those headers in and be a bit of a fresher player than, let's say, Arnautovic in the latter stages of a game. So guys, that is going to wrap things up for this episode. It's basically more extended highlights of the first 3 games of the Weekend League. I'll now go and like play a whole bunch, see how many losses, how many wins we can actually get, you know, and test out our team, see how Zola gets on in the Weekend League. Obviously, you know that this video is slightly delayed. If there are any upgrades to my players, like I'm kind of expecting maybe at some point we would get Aurier and Marcos Alonso. I think their road to the finals that I own would probably get a boost at some point. If that has happened by now, I'm sorry that the content is slightly delayed. They could make their way into my squad if and when that happens. We shall see. But yeah, smash a like on the video. Let's try and hit 2,000 likes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a lovely day, most importantly. Come follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be able to share with you a little bit more about my trip that I'm on currently. And I will catch you next time. Peace.